Welcome, everyone. Welcome to the Film Threat Livecast on a Friday. A lot going on today. A lot of big news and movies opening in theaters. Today, we're going to talk about Captain America, The Acolyte. We have a preview. Alan and I just got screeners for the first 4 episodes of The Acolyte. That's right. We're going to talk about it. Plus, David Lynch, He-Man, has been cast. And we'll tell you who that is. Lots of news, lots of fun stuff. Deadpool popcorn bucket. I'm so pumped. I'm pumped for the bucket. So let's get things started. Plus, your comments and questions. And you know who's going to be here? Alan is going to be here. So let's go. Let's go. It's a Friday. Let's go. He's oh God. My dad grew up on a farm. He would tell me stories about it. And my grandparents used to garden. They would have raspberries and apples, and we would go picking fruit. So it's really interesting. So I'm a little kid, and we get like 25 cents, my sister and I, and we go to these farms that they would give you, they'd weigh your basket. So they would put a little piece of paper in your basket, say your basket weighs this or whatever, or we'd bring in boxes. Then they would weigh it on the way out. They deduct the weight of the packaging, and you just pay for, like, we would get so much fresh fruit. My grandmother had a pantry. She'd make fresh strawberry jam. Everything was fresh. She used to mock going to restaurants. Like, I can make better food than this. This was my grandmother. So yeah, I learned a lot from I don't live anywhere where I actually have enough land to actually farm, but I should.
Yeah, my mom grew up on a farm, but then the Japanese burned it down.
Alan!
Is that true?
Yeah. Well, she lived in a village and the Japanese burned it down.
Yay! History.
But when she returned, all that was left was the farm. And so that's all they did.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Japanese.
So, Alan, we got the first 4 episodes of The Acolyte.
This came early.
Yes. Well,
because now we have something to talk about other than Bad Boys 4 Back to Black.
Well, we'll talk about it next week. We're going to do Hollywood on the Rocks at a special time. It'll be Tuesday, probably really early in the morning. We will let people know in the community tab, when we're going to reschedule the show to just talk about first 4 episodes of Acolyte.
We're allowed to give a full review Tuesday morning before it comes out.
Yes, we're allowed.
We're allowed. Thank you, Disney. Disney is the gift that keeps on giving.
Yeah, well, we'll see about that. We'll see about that. We're doing a preview of The Acolyte today. I can just say I'm not that excited.
Well, I just saw Young Woman in Sea last night, so
well, here we go.
Yeah.
And let's see who's in the chat. Look at this. New Cap is Master Chief. Yeah, probably. Yeah. MK Solid 82. I'm wiped out today. The whole Trump thing has me exhausted. Yeah, well, we're not going to talk about it. Chris, say prostitute. Dog with bad credit, who's a member. Prostitute. There you go. Let's see. Alan, I watched The Beach Boys with the family based on your review. Now they are hooked. And we will be going to a concert next month. Thank you for your recommendation. What's your go-to Beach Boys song?
Oh, well, I mean, God Only Knows. That's my first, but then after that, there's just so many more.
What is it?
God Only Knows.
Oh, I thought you were saying God Only Knows what my favorite song is.
Yes, God Only Knows, my favorite song. God only knows my favorite song. God only knows.
Well, you know what? We finally got up to 119,000 subs. I want to thank you. Welcome our new subscribers if you're watching. And also, Alan can read this.
Yes, from Lord Thoth. Like, share, subscribe. Hit the bell for notifications. Sign up as a member. Join us on Discord and Rumble. And buy the merch. Buy the merch.
Yeah, and here we go. Look at this.
Yes, and from Suns and Shadows, member for 10 months. Sorry. Before starting, how often you check P.O. Box? Yeah, Chris.
About twice a month. So every 2 weeks or so, I go down. I used to live in that area off Wilshire Boulevard.
It's not a convenient location.
It's not convenient, but I go to screenings and I'll pop by the box and pick up stuff about every 2 weeks. So it's not every day. So if you send me something, you got to give me time.
Yeah.
So there you go. All right. We have a lot of news items. So the first half of the show, news. We'll dive into the news. And then the second half, we're going to review a lot of movies that are in theaters. Shocking. But here's some pieces of news that intrigued me. I follow David Lynch on Twitter. I love David Lynch. He's one of my favorite filmmakers. Love even Dune. I didn't like it initially, 1984 Dune. It grew on me. And the 3-hour cut 4K on YouTube is fantastic. Eraserhead might be one of my favorite indie films of all time. And David Lynch is just always an intriguing filmmaker.
Yeah. I told you who he credits his career to, right?
Who?
Mel Brooks.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah. Because Mel Brooks was the producer of Elephant Man. And Mel Brooks, as the producer, he would give notes, and then Mel would say, "You use them or don't use them. It's your movie," and gave him complete ruin.
Yeah, and of course, Blue Velvet. That movie holds up. What a great film! But David Lynch is on X, Twitter, and he said something kind of cryptic. So I don't know what's going on with this, Alan, but you might. But when I play this video, but we're going to check it out. Listen to what he says. Over 5 million views for like a 20-second statement from David Lynch. So here we go. Ready?
Ladies and gentlemen, something is coming along for you to see and hear. And it will be coming along on June 5. Ladies and gentlemen.
Okay. I have no idea what that means, but I can't wait. And I already follow David on Twitter. So I don't know. We'll find out. I hope it's a new movie because I love David Lynch.
I know.
Love him.
Yeah, I'll go with the Razorbird's coming. He's gonna play Anthony Bourdain in the cinematic biopic.
Right.
Okay.
Right. Okay. Hey, real quick, we need comments. There needs to be in the queue at least 5 comments. Just so you know. 5 comments just sitting there in case I want to go to them. Okay. A quick aside. All right. Moving on. Good? Well, it's too late now.
Okay.
Here, read this one.
From MK Solid 82, Elephant Man had me crying like a baby as a kid. What a film that is.
Yes.
Yeah. And from, hold on, let me switch over this tab. From Vault Tech CEO 111, I'm in a dark room. They've got me. The girl boss cometh. David Lynch. And then Dog with Bad Credit. Lynch is rocking that Chris Gore hair.
There you go. There you go. And oddly enough, a quick aside. There's a little library in my neighborhood, like a block away. And I always check it. I put books in there to get rid of books I'm good with getting rid of. And then every once in a while, I see a book and I'm like, oh, I'll pick that up. Check out the book that was in my little library. The timing could not be better.
Yeah.
Girl Boss. Girl Boss, the book by Sophia Amoruso. So someone is going to get that. I might gift it to Gary from Nerdrotic. I'm going to give him this book. I didn't realize there was, and I just got this book too. So that's good. I could use that. I could use that about now. So there you are. But yeah, I love the little library. Is there one in your neighborhood, Alan?
Nope. No. We just have a regular library.
Well, that's fine.
And it's right next to the movie theater. It's all there. I live in a small town.
Yeah. Well, that's usually where they thrive.
Mm-hmm.
Small town.
Yeah. Unfortunately, not ours.
Yeah. Okay. Quick news here. I have some new news. Did you know that there's a live action He-Man and the Masters of the Universe is coming? That's right. It's a live action coming from Mattel Films, being produced with Amazon MGM Studios. It is a feature movie to be put into theaters, and it's produced by Todd Black, Jason Blumenthal, so Blumhouse, Steve Tisch, and Mattel Films' Robbie Brenner are producing it. It's live action. It's based on the toy line, and He-Man has been cast. It's Nicholas Galitzine. You know who that is?
No, I have no idea.
Nicholas, you've seen him.
I'm pretty sure I have.
Here's what he looks like.
I wouldn't doubt it.
Okay, so folks, that's your He-Man. The thing I'm most surprised about is it's a white guy. It's a white guy of all things. So, anyways, anyone excited about He-Man? There you go. But it's in theaters June 5th, 2026. So something of a wait, and there's your He-Man.
I know.
Any reaction, Alan? You're a fan.
Yeah, I mean, you're right. A white guy. I mean, I'm. You know, it's weird to see casting that kind of matches the actual look of the original character. It's odd to see it. I don't know how I'm feeling at the moment, but a white guy playing He-Man, that's weird.
Here's what I predict. The Skeletor will be a black skeleton.
Yeah, but does that matter? I mean, he's blue, isn't he? Or gray?
Well, yeah, blue, but his whatever.
I just hope She-Ra is Asian. That's all I hope.
This could be fun. The fact that they're getting ahead of this, and I don't know why no one else has this news. It didn't really break. I mean, there's a lot of other stuff going on, obviously, but I saw this and I thought worth noting. So I don't know if there are He-Man fans, but let's go to the chat.
Yes. Yes, from Rumble, BMO Better for 2. Thank you. This is for you, actually.
Oh, thanks. Gore's word of the day, quintessential.
Oh, that was too easy.
Quintessential. Well, thank you for that. Thank you.
All right. And Benjamin Wood for 299 Australian. Hey, Alan. Hey, Chris and Alan. Love the show. Portland 182. Was Lynch excited for the Masters of the Universe? Maybe that's the announcement.
Absolutely.
Yes. MK Solid 82. Chris, Sacha Baron Cohen might be Skeletor. That's a really amazing choice if you think about it.
I don't know. I don't see it.
Yeah. I don't. Yeah. He's not known for putting himself under heavy makeup. From Andrew S. Soy Man. Sorry,
Soy
Man. My dyslexia.
I think he looks good. I think he's got a square jaw.
Mm-hmm.
He's got the forehead. He's got the. They're gonna dye his hair. Okay.
Yeah. Well, they're gonna put a wig on him.
Yes, and he's gonna get buff. I don't know. I think this is good casting.
Yeah. And from Scott Christie Jones, He-Man is a beast, though. This bloke is too small. Yeah, in the picture, he's small, yeah.
Well, look, when they hired Chris Pratt from Parks and Rec, who was a doughy, sort of average Midwest-looking guy.
Mm-hmm.
I'm from the Midwest. I know something about being doughy. Then Chris Pratt got the Marvel bod. So there you go. I mean, this is live action. Here we go with a comment from Matthew Hammond.
Yeah, from Matthew Hammond for 2. Thank you. Does He-Man play second fiddle to She-Ra? Oh, there you go.
I hope that if recent events prove, true, that maybe Hollywood has learned their lesson. People are not down with this. It doesn't make money. Remember the phrase, male and pale is money. Look at the pre-sales for Deadpool and Wolverine.
I'm trying to look this guy up.
I've seen him in a bunch of things. So there you go.
Okay,
while you're doing that, another piece of news, the reveal of the Deadpool and Wolverine bucket. Now, I can't play the audio from this. This is from Ryan Reynolds. It's from his he has a YouTube channel, oddly enough, which is weird. So he has a YouTube channel. This is have you seen this, Alan? Have you seen this?
No. Don't have it.
All right. Alan's going to see it for the first time.
I did, yeah.
Let's see the reveal of the Deadpool and Wolverine popcorn bucket. Make whatever sounds you make, Alan. Here we go. Look at this sleek.
Ew.
There's a mouth. The tongue, you can see the tongue. What? First of all, yes. What is that? Designed by Deadpool.
Oh, I hope this is real.
By the way, no, this is real. I confirm it's real.
Yeah. I mean, I'll say Kevin Feige at CinemaCon promised us a Deadpool bucket. And it wasn't going to be accidental like Dune was.
Now, it's not a question of if I'm going to get a Deadpool bucket. It's a question of how many Deadpool buckets will I get? And I mean, how many I can get.
Yeah. I learned, so my secret is no one do this, but I'm going to go to smaller AMCs and buy them there. So La Jolla, I'm coming for you.
There you go. Can you get me one if I can't get it, Alan?
Yeah, well, we'll try.
All right, cool. We got some comments on this bucket. So from Suns and Shadows, Alan.
Oh, yeah, sorry. Chris is going to Dune this bucket. Yeah, he will.
Yeah.
Although the opening is kind of large. I need to get to the bigger one here. Ray Laka. Chris is getting 20 for family and friends, eh? And then from Razorburn, consider it take my money. Consider it bought. Take my money. Brock.
Alan's taking reading lessons from Beardo.
You know what it is? My dyslexia font works on everything but the chat, and so it's really small. Right. And then the font, like the little A and the little O, are pretty much the same symbol. Brock Samsonite, drip drip drizzle, and from Professor Fear, does his healing factor help his gag reflex?
Yes, possibly. Hey, a super chat here.
Rudy for 5. Thanks for the support. We really appreciate it. $5. Lord, forgive me for what I'm gonna do with that bucket. Gonna grab some extra butter.
Hell yeah! So, well, there you go. Now more news. Alan, I have so much.
Oh, I should say that Nicholas Galitzine. We saw him in Bottoms.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and he's apparently doing a lot of let's just say gay cinema.
Well, there you go. There you go. All right, Alan. All right, Alan. Now some Marvel news and why we have this thumbnail. So, I have to show you something. I'm gonna show you something and see if you even because okay, you're an X-Men fan, aren't you?
Yes,
Alan?
That was my gateway into comic books. The X-Men.
And tomorrow is what, Alan?
It's Scott and Emma's wedding, or I have no idea. What is
No,
it?
what
The
day
birthday.
is
It's the
tomorrow?
birthday of the X-Men.
No,
I have no
what
idea.
day is tomorrow?
What?
What day is tomorrow?
Tomorrow is June 1st. It is.
There you go.
Yes,
It's
it is
June 1st.
Yes, it's a
Yay!
month-long celebration.
So here we have, this is the trailer for a comic book, which they do on Marvel on their channel. They do trailers for comics. I actually kind of like it. They're like little short 1-minute trailers. They
Motion
kind of
comics, yeah.
dramatize what's going to happen in the comic. They feature some of the art moves. It's cool. I actually like the comic trailers. Okay. This is a trailer for the X-Men wedding special, which is going to be out. And well, let's just take a look. We'll talk about it on the back end. I don't think anybody's talking about this trailer, but you need to see it, Alan.
Okay.
You need to see this trailer. Just for you, Alan. For you. So here we go. Are you ready?
Yeah, it looks great so far.
Okay, here we go. It's only a minute. It's only a minute. You'll get through it.
Oh.
Now, what'd you think, Alan?
Wow. I mean, it's
What'd you
June.
think?
It's June. It reeks of June. June is coming out all over.
June is coming for all of us here.
Yeah, wow. I mean, it's June. I mean, I guess there must be an audience for this. There must be an audience so large that this will make a lot of money.
Well, I think look, if these sell well, sure.
Yeah. No, go for it. Absolutely.
But
I mean, unfortunately, I dropped out of buying comics a couple of years ago, so not on my pull list right now.
Yeah.
But
okay, so whatever. I think it's fine.
I'll say I missed the AAPI anthology that they put out this month.
Well, I mean, look, let's just be real. It's pandering.
Yeah.
It's pandering. And I think it's okay. I guess if that's, I don't know, were those characters gay in the comics originally, or?
I don't remember Mystique ever being gay. Captain Britain, I guess, is a woman now, so she's gay.
Right.
I mean, look, if there's a market for it, if there's not a market for it, then I seriously question the decisions being made about these things.
Well, that's exactly right. You know, I'll just say this. We just got past Memorial Day. You know, we have a couple days a year where we honor those who served and fought for our country. We might have, like, I was having a conversation with Dante, we were talking about Juneteenth. And he's going to, if you've been watching Verbal Riot, go subscribe to Verbal Riot. That's our friend Dante James. He is going to do a Juneteenth special and a Black State of the Union. We were laughing, coming up with ideas he could do. But I was saying, I actually think Juneteenth is a good holiday because it's celebrating something positive about America, the end of slavery. It's also an excuse to drink and have a barbecue and invite your friends over and hang out. It's one day that celebrates something great about this country. And I think that Juneteenth is a positive. I am fully support it.
Yeah.
We might have, if you could center some date or an important historical event around celebrating this, but I think there might be way too many days.
Every day is a day. I mean,
every day is a day now. It's National Donut Day. There is a National Donut Day. Yeah. But it's out of control.
Yeah.
So
now I'll say this coming Juneteenth is a very special Juneteenth. Not only does it commemorate I would say the psychological and emotional end of slavery, but it also commemorates 25 years of my own marital enslavement. My wife hates that joke.
I love that joke. Oh my God.
I told it to her the other day and she's like, don't say that.
Oh, wow. Oh, that's great.
But 25 years.
That's great. So, but maybe we just get a day, because I do think it's flipped people the other day. It's so much. It's like people tune out. And that's why I think Pride Month, while, hey, I support all my gay friends. Love it. Go live your life. That's great. But a month, it gets too much. That's my personal opinion. Let's find a day centered around a historical event that we can all like celebrate, like Juneteenth. I think it's a very good idea. It's a holiday, legit. And I think it's something positive about this country. And maybe we don't need a whole month because it really, really
it drags.
It drags. All right. Comment. Yeah, this month drags. Here we go, Alan.
All right, from Steph's abused keyboard. The problem is they're shaping up their stuff to bring fans back, and then they're just gonna do the same thing they did all over again. There you go. That makes sense. Suns and Shadows again. Can we get privileged white male month too?
Nah.
Well, they would claim that that's the whole year.
Yeah.
Andrew S. Mrs. Teak. From B-Rad. Oh, yay. Oh, yeah. Exactly what 98% of the fan base didn't want. Johann Xavier. Is this a comic or a soap opera?
Soap opera.
Soap opera, yeah. And from Solomon Thornton, Mystique was never gay. She was Nightcrawler's mom. Well,
yeah,
she's a mutant, so she could be gay and give birth to Nightcrawler.
You never know.
No.
You never know. So, all right. Well, I wanted to see if other people had seen that. Now, let's talk about the topic on the thumbnail. It is, this is a big topic, folks. And this is Captain America's new look. So you've got a value meal from Captain America. Is that right?
I forgot to bring it in, but it's pretty lame.
What is it? Describe it.
Oh, it was
already okay. So wait, to be clear, right? Captain America and Captain America Brave New World comes out in 2025.
Is it Brave New World or is it New World Order?
They changed it. It was a New World Order. So it's coming out on Valentine's Day.
Oh.
February 14th, 2025. Captain America Brave New World comes out. Harrison Ford plays Thunderbolt Ross. He was recast. Anthony Mackie is Sam Wilson. And Sebastian Stan is listed as being in the movie as Bucky Barnes. Liv Tyler is Betty Ross. So it obviously it's about the new Captain America, but here's the trick. Marketing material has leaked from the from the the value meal. But here is what Cap looks like in the marketing material for it. And I'm predicting this will be Cap on the Chinese poster. What do you notice, Alan?
Well, I notice I can't see his face. And maybe he's a little
hiding. They are hiding his face, just like they reduced the size or took off, Finn off the Force Awakens poster. Mm-hmm. So these are some of the materials that are for on the toys, on the, things like the Happy Meal or whatever. And this movie was supposed to come out like around now.
Yeah.
And so it's kind of surprising they're suppressing his look. And yeah, so Son Brown says Captain Ant-Man. He looks like Ant-Man. But I hate the thing where he has a. Sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, no, I'm just saying you're right. It's got kind of that air filtration system on the front of the helmet there.
Or well, he needs a helmet because he doesn't have superpowers. Let's be honest. No superpowers. How is it? I don't get it.
Use the helmet from the comic book that he wore.
Well, first of all, by the way, I love the Falcon. When I was a kid, I read Captain America and the Falcon comic. I bought that. I loved it.
Yeah, I have several issues of that.
And I had the Mego action figures of both Cap and Falcon. I loved it. They were buddies. They solved crimes. They fought supervillains. It was great. And Anthony Mackie is great as Sam Wilson.
Mm-hmm.
And his origin is that Captain America retired and gave him the shield. That's how he became Captain America. Bucky should have gotten the shield. It just made sense. Bucky is he's a powered character, right? He does have superpowers. He took the serum, so he can do things. But I don't see it unless they change Sam Wilson's origin.
Yeah, in the comic books, in the comic books, Captain America loses the super serum and he ages rapidly. And as a result, Captain America had to retire, and then it went to Falcon. So but the thing is, it was written in the comic book, 5-8 years ago?
Yeah.
This is what Marvel has been doing since Disney took over. It's rewriting characters to give justification for Marvel Studios to now make movies based on these new changes.
Right. Well, these new changes they're not great.
No, but again, it was done less than 10 years ago. Right. So clearly, the agenda, the message has infiltrated Marvel, not that long ago. And they're making all of these changes to the comic books, therefore justifying the changes in the movies.
Yeah.
Because the comic books did it. It happened in the comic books. Kamala Khan, Ms. Marvel. She's a comic book character. So of course we're going to make a TV show and a movie about her.
I just think it's the new costume is, it's meant to hide his face.
Yeah.
And that's what they will use. I guarantee when the Chinese poster for this movie comes out, that this is what Cap will look like.
Yeah.
It's deceptive.
Yeah. It's to speak also to the hypocrisy, for Disney and Marvel and Star Wars to call the fans racist and then hide the face or de-emphasize the black characters in their international marketing, the gay characters in the international marketing. That is the definition of hypocrisy.
Yeah, well, here's another look at this, how they're using it in all their, in their marketing here. These are like materials that people put out, and let's see where I had another graphic. Here we go. This is Cap. So they put out what they call key art.
Yeah.
Key art gets used in the marketing. Can you see that logo there at the upper right?
That's not. That is horrible.
It's a little Cap face that looks like Ant-Man, where they put wings on it.
Yeah. I mean, on my tiny screen that I'm looking at, it looks like a skull with wings on it.
The Red Skull.
Yeah.
That's how he sounded in the cartoon.
I talked about this on Wednesday, but this idea of excellence. But the Marvel, Disney, they used to, excellence was the word that they strove for. And I look at that and I don't see excellence in any way.
Well, I want to see a legit origin of the new. I have no problem with a new Captain America. That's great. Make it Sam Wilson. That's great.
Mm-hmm.
He has to earn it. He earned his, as Falcon. Love him. He's really good as Falcon.
Yeah.
Great sidekick.
Unfortunately, they didn't pay it off in the TV series.
He has great moments, at Endgame, on your left, so good. And Anthony Mackie is so likable.
Mm-hmm.
He's as an actor. Have you ever seen in the behind the scenes for one of the Captain America movies? Sam Wilson is, I think it might have been Civil War or whatever. He says the thing where he'll do a stunt and he says, cut the check. Like he earned his money for doing that stunt. So he would do some of his own stunts. Whenever he did it, at the end of the take, he would say, cut the check. And they did a whole montage of him doing stunts and then saying it I earned my money today. And Anthony Mackie is just likable in, non-superhero movies. He's a very good actor.
Yeah. I remember a video came out. He said something very based. I can't remember what it was, but it did nothing but, increase my respect.
It was about, I tell you exactly what it was about. Make me a sandwich. He was on one of those lame talk shows where it's all a bunch of gossipy, whatever. And he said, he had a controversial thing. He says, hey, woman, make me a sandwich. But you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to open the door. I'm going to pay you respect. I'll do things for you. You do things for me. And it was very, very based comment.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, I like him.
Yeah.
But I feel like if this is going to work, he really, really needs to earn it.
Yeah. So you want me to tell you what we saw at CinemaCon about Captain America? Okay. So this is opening moments of the movie. But Thunderbolt Ross, he is, my guess is it's President Thunderbolt Ross. If not, it's Senator Thunderbolt Ross. There's an allusion to an election of him being in elected office and wanting to stay in office. So my guess is he's president, but it could be a senator. The other thing is he's realized that we need the Avengers back, that he's finally broken down and said that the Avengers were good for America and wants Captain America here to bring the Avengers back. I'm not sure if it means the OG Avengers, but at least some form of Avengers. Then we get into then all hell breaks loose. The bad guys come in, and we get into a fight sequence. And I will say this: that to me, the key as to whether they do this right is understanding that Sam Wilson doesn't have superpowers. He didn't take the super serum. He doesn't have super strength. He doesn't have super speed, but he has the suit, and that's what gives him his powers. I will say it looked legit, except for one moment where there's a thing that Sam does that just seems that Sam couldn't really do it, and that it was, it would have been a Captain America thing with the super serum. So I'm hoping that maybe they got it wrong that one instant, but that's what I know so far about going into Captain America, the new Captain America.
So they showed that scene at D23.
They showed it at CinemaCon.
Right. Okay.
Yeah. So it's, I don't know, but the feeling is what was sold to the theater owners was that Captain America: Civil War was a political movie, and this one they wanted to return to a political movie. The footage, I guess, they showed us was what they're keeping from what they're reshooting. So again, the movie's a mess, and we'll see what happens. We'll see if they can salvage it with whatever reshoots they're doing.
Well, I can guarantee that this look of Captain America, that's going to be over all the marketing, all of it. That Ant-Man
international
hybrid,
marketing.
Yeah, the Ant-Man Cap like hybrid is what will be used. So there you go.
Yeah, there's no way in the States that they're going to cover Anthony Mackie's face.
Yeah. All right, let's go to your comments here.
All right. From Rudy for 2. Thank you. June is also Men's Mental Health Awareness Month.
Well, there you go.
I mean, sadly, I believe you. From Patrick Lemire, Crapton, the nerd far away. I'm not impressed. Yeah. Sir Dirty Dog looks like Captain Parrot. Wings are burned. Should have been Bucky. He has the arm to toss the shield. Yeah, he has a super serum, I believe.
Yeah. Makes sense.
Mark Clement. More of the Power Ranger Captain America.
Yeah.
I mean, Bucky. Bucky is probably the guy who's most like Cap, but has a dark side that he has to fight, which makes an interesting character. From Murdoch 86, I miss pre-2011 Marvel comics. Yeah, we all do. Bad Gamergate. They will explain the helm as a breathing apparatus for flight, just like the comics. Thomas Pickett. Excellence takes talent and costs money. 2 things Disney doesn't have. Apparently, Disney can get money. They just can't get talent. And from Friend, Cap without super soldier serum isn't Cap.
Yeah, well, true.
But listen, I mean, I could counter that by saying, the reason Steve Rogers was chosen was because of his heart and his patriotism, and that's what made him Cap.
Yeah. I mean, they have to explain how this is going to work. So they have to explain it.
Yeah.
So
yeah, it's a mess. Just the fact that they're doing such extensive reshoots means that they're scrambling, and the quality is not going to be top tier in any way.
Okay, Alan, now it's time we talk about the Acolyte. The Acolyte, the female-centered Star Wars series coming to Disney Plus. I love breasts. Women look at other women's breasts. Gay men love breasts. One thing that could unite the world is breasts and cleavage. I really believe that. I truly believe in breasts. All right, Alan and I have received the first 4 episodes of The Acolyte. We will be discussing it next week on Tuesday at an early time. It'll be Hollywood on the Rocks, early morning on Tuesday next week. We will alert you and put up the links so you know when we're going live, and we'll talk about the first 4 episodes. But before we do that, I think we should preview The Acolyte. What are we about to experience? And several things have come out. A couple things. One, this is Leslie Headland's whole, she is the creative responsible for this. And when I think of a Leslie Headland like movie or TV show, I think of great moments like, oh wait, Almost Nothing. Her previous work. Alan, can you look her up and see what she's responsible for, like her previous work? I want to know. But they keep putting out more and more videos, interviews, teaser trailers. This is a very different Star Wars. It's a Star Wars where, well, let's be frank, there are no white men. They're just not there. It's fine. And already they are taking a defensive approach and they are attacking fans. The fans are, what is it? What's the playbook? Racist and sexist. These are the same fans who loved Lando Calrissian. These are the same fans who loved Princess Leia. You write a good character, they'll love it. Mace Windu is a badass. Everyone loved Sam Jackson as Mace Windu. You cannot accuse that audience of racism and sexism when the past history tells you that Star Wars fans love characters that are well written and they get behind it. So doing this is so disheartening. Let's take a look.
You want me to give you her CV, or do you want to wait?
Yes. Let's Leslie Headland's resume previous to the Acolyte. What was it exactly?
Okay, so she is the executive producer of Single Drunk Female, the television show. She is the executive producer of Russian Doll, which I believe did well on.
Wait, executive producer? What does that even mean?
She's the money, I believe. Isn't that what executive producers do?
They are more administrative.
Yeah. Okay.
Ready?
Yeah. Sorry about that.
Okay. Her writing credits include let's see. Okay, so she wrote Russian Doll. Oh no, I'm sorry. She's the creator of Russian Doll. She wrote.
Two directors talk about Star Wars.
Sorry. Queuing up these clips.
I know.
Sorry, Alan.
She wrote Sleeping with Other People. She wrote the remake of About Last Night. And then as a let me see. And she directed 2 episodes of Single Drunk Female. She directed 4 episodes of Russian Doll. And she directed 4 episodes of Heathers, the TV show.
All right. Let's take a look at some videos. Let's take a look at some videos here. Let's hear it direct from her mouth. Okay. This is it's 2.5 minutes. It's an interview with Leslie Headland, it's interviewed by Dave Filoni.
Oh.
So I'll pause it if I have to make comments, or tell me to pause it, Alan. But let's take a look.
Directors talk about Star Wars.
That sounds good.
That does
Let's
sound
do
good.
that.
Let's do it. Tell me about the Acolyte.
I'm sorry, just you asking me that question is making me cry.
Is it? That's all right.
Yeah.
It is a big deal to a lot of people. It affects people.
Of all the Star Wars, I love all the Star Wars. Anyways,
Different ways. And this is your story, so.
What I was interested in examining were the Sith. The master-apprentice dynamic. If the apprentice is craving the master's power, then at some point he must recruit his apprentice to overthrow the master.
Yeah.
And that is the Acolyte.
Right.
You don't wake up thinking you're evil.
Freeze it for a second.
That's explored by George and Anakin.
Yeah, I don't think Anakin ever thinks he becomes evil.
I agree.
life,
and I think
you know.
a lot of the characters in the Acolyte have to convince themselves that they are
Doing the right thing.
they're doing the right thing.
Okay.
yeah, Alan,
Hey, I have a comment here.
Sure.
So before she said that she was interested in the Sith and the Apprentice. I'm sorry. What was her original job?
Oh right. Oh my God. Like an evil lord, which was Harvey Weinstein. He was the assistant. She was
interested in the assistant of the.
Oh no.
Ah. And can I? When we see her tattoos, can you freeze? Because what the hell? I mean,
Okay, I'll freeze on the tattoos. I don't know.
This is the Clone Wars.
Yeah, no kidding.
Ahsoka was such an interesting character to me.
When we started, we had it very much a shell shock moment for her that she was out of her depth. And I'll never forget it. George watching it and saying, "You guys are taking this a bit too seriously." He went on to explain that, like, even at a young age, she's not out of her depth for any of this.
I had a similar experience with the character Jackie. There was a note from somebody that was, wouldn't she be scared on her first mission? And I remember you telling me about that story.
Jedi training has to be valuable. It prepares them for the galaxy.
Do or do not.
Do or do not, there's no try. That's like, if you're trying, you're not actually doing it.
I had to do that with Acolyte for sure. My agreement with myself was whenever it overwhelms you that you're doing your dream, you just have to do it. Honestly, the times that I felt the most worried was not the special effects, the fighting choreography. It was the emotional stuff.
These things that George understood about film.
Reference the original films.
Yeah.
Kind of get you in the feels. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
They always do that.
Do you get the sense that there was a lot of crying on set?
Yes, I do. I do.
Yeah.
Oh man.
That's,
okay.
I mean, when I go to work, it's like, a meeting at Film Threat. There's just a lot of crying about the work we do here.
Well, I make you cry.
Yeah.
Wait, here. Let's keep going.
Filmmaking understood about iconography are things we still try to tap into.
It's the Western. It's the samurai film. It has to feel elevated, but it also has to feel like Star Wars. Basically, what George created, it's the North Star.
Trying to look at her tattoos, they look pretty bad. I'm sure they're personal.
I mean, part of it is
what's that?
They were haphazardly put together. It's like, oh, I want that image. I mean, I've seen people.
Well,
it's
tattoos are personal to you. They're personal, so yeah, I don't know what they mean. I'm sure they're very important to her.
But there should be an aesthetic to it. It should look. There should be some cohesiveness.
I've seen
some
good
idea
tattoos.
of
I've seen bad tattoos. I don't have a problem with it. It's a personal choice, like my haircut.
Yeah, but
or my choice of shirt.
Yeah,
so I don't really criticize people for the looks so much.
Yeah,
or choices.
But the thing is, if it sticks out and it doesn't look aesthetically pleasing, you just
I'll
feel like
compliment you, Alan. Your choice of T-shirt for today, very good. Yeah, it's the classic Film Threat logo, available at shop.filmthreat.com. So let's keep watching this.
What are you?
All right, so I want to point out a couple things. A few things. One, the style that with their fighting, where it's like, watch closely. If you watch closely, it's a thing because I have a friend. He was making these low budget indie action movies in the early 2000s. I'll tell you who the friend was. It was John Schnepp.
Mm-hmm.
Shout out to my friend John Schnepp. Love him. He was making an action movie, and his whole thing was, well, my actors are not stunt people, but the way he choreographed the fighting was they would do these moves, be doing moves and fight moves and choreography, and they would just move slow. So they'd go, they'd be doing stuff. They would move slow, and all he would do is speed things up. That's what they did with this. If you watch it, I saw the Acolyte preview when I went to see Star Wars Episode 1 in a theater. After the credits, they showed a scene and an extended look preview of the Acolyte. So I saw that in a theater, and I'm watching the action. I'm like, why does that look so cheap? Why does it look cheap? You can't unsee it when I point this out. To everyone watching, the 2,000 people watching, please subscribe to the channel. Please like and share. Thank you. Look carefully at the action. You can't unsee this. It's fighting in slow motion because I guarantee Carrie Ann Moss is not a stunt person. Those actors are not professional stunt people. They're just actors.
Mm-hmm.
They're not trained to fight like a stunt person. If you saw The Fall Guy, a lot of real stunt people in that movie.
Yeah.
Watch it. It's sped up. It's like cranked up like 1.5 or maybe 2x speed. So I'm telling you, it looks so bad when you notice it. So please, next week, when we have all seen, the first 2 episodes, Alan and I will have seen the first 4. Look carefully. And by the way, these episodes, 8 episodes, 30 minutes each.
Oh, thank God.
This is a 4-hour movie.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So I'm just telling you. Okay.
I'll tell you what I'm looking for, or what I'm paying close attention to. A is dialogue. This idea of this is what Rings of Power tried to do. This is what Ahsoka tried to do, but it was trying to say profound things that mean nothing, that have nothing behind, no weight behind it. The other thing is a cliffhanger. How do they end each episode? Because this has been a consistent problem with Star Wars and Marvel. Can Leslie Headland build tension in a series? Make you want to see the next episode, because everything that Disney Plus has put out so far has failed miserably. Failed. Even Andor didn't have good cliffhangers.
Yeah. I mean, there's another video that I want to show. Let's talk about that. And here it is. This is the actors in the show. Okay. This is a minute, 90 seconds, 94 seconds. We can get through it, Alan. So here we go. Ready?
Yeah.
It's Carrie Ann Moss and the cover of the actors. Okay, here we go.
Ready?
Yeah. Star Wars has always been a big part of my life. I've always loved spending time in these universes, and the concepts that Star Wars explores feel like some of the most vital ones.
Someone is killing Jedi. It doesn't make sense.
Hi. How are you?
Come and sit.
So I'm pretty honored to be a part of something that's impacted so many people. And my kids are really excited about it.
And my husband is too. What was your favorite scene to film?
I loved the action sequence. The fight that I have with Amandala.
Your power and your use of the Force in the fight is like, it's a whole other character. It adds so much to it. You are a strong, wise Jedi.
I freaked out every time I got on a ship.
Okay, why?
Because I was on a ship. Oh my God, I'm on a Star Wars ship, and now I get to beep, bop, boop, bop, beep, boop, boop, press the button.
Yes, all the buttons.
Turn it,
all the screens.
all at once.
Wait, Alan. Did she just say beep, bop, boop?
Oh, no.
Cancel her.
Canceled.
She said beep, bop,
Beep,
boop.
bop, boop. Oh,
Wait,
no.
I'm going to back it up because I'm not sure I heard that right. Okay, here we go.
Right there.
And now I get to beep, bop, boop, bop, beep, boop, boop,
Oh,
press the button.
Yes, all the buttons.
Turn it,
all the screens.
all at once.
Yes.
Because that's what good pilots do.
I think the greatest part about Star Wars is that they have incredible characters, and every generation just sees themselves in them.
It's really nice to be a part of that. It was insane. It's Star Wars.
She said it. She said those 3 words in that order.
Okay.
Beep,
All
bop,
right.
boop.
What'd you think of that? What we just saw?
I mean, it's a promotional video. Also, no one's going to criticize the work they've done or the show they're on. So this is on par for everything.
I have the book.
Yeah.
I have the book right here. I got this at my little library. Here's the book. And I'm going to do a giveaway for this book at some point.
Yeah.
But
so here's the other thing I'll be looking for is, and this has been absent in the entire Disney Plus Disney Star Wars, but the Force. Do they have a serious discussion about what the Force is?
Yeah, do they? I mean,
They haven't yet. The Last Jedi is probably the last time they talked about the Force.
Yeah, I don't know, but it feels like a lot of rules are going to be broken. It just, I get that feeling.
Yeah, which is, I mean, look, George said it. It's Disney's now, so they're allowed to break the rules. But do they even address the idea of the Force, even if they're going to redefine it? Or is the Force just some magical power, some telepathy that everyone has, telekinesis?
Well, we shall see next week, Alan, when we do our show, and we'll talk about the first 4 episodes. We'll do, you know what we'll do? The first part we'll do non-spoiler, but I think the lack of, I think we'll just do full spoilers.
Yeah, the
full
lack
spoilers.
of interest and the low subscriber count for Disney Plus.
Right. So look for us next week on Hollywood on the Rocks next Tuesday. We'll talk Acolyte. Now to your comments. A lot of them here. So let's go, starting with Super Chat. Here we go, Alan. From Sammy Bamswell for 5.
I got a message from Smashy Bamswell for 5. The hats Kevin Feige wears really should have propellers on them. Thank you. From Old Renaissance Boomer for 199. You mean SpongeBob Square Jaw Headland?
From Old Renaissance Boomer for 199. Yeah, that's great.
From Benjamin for 10. Theory Furiosa bombed because people, including me, are tired of desert settings. Dune 2 was already enough sand for a lifetime. I don't want to spend more time on Tatooine. From Aid Robertson for 999 pounds. Hey, Chris and Alan, glad to see you back, kicking ass.
Hell yeah.
Yes.
For sure.
A word that was apparently used in the 1920s, but we'll talk about
that.
Let's fucking go.
All right. Thank you, Aid. I appreciate that.
All right. TPAC 28 for 10. The single woke white woman at Disney keeps telling us how important representation is, but they keep ignoring the biggest group. This is not about profit. Nope.
Yes.
No, because they just assume that group will just show up, even though there's nothing.
The assumption is, yeah. Here we go. More here.
Yeah, Professor R2, the Acolyte. It's Abby Normal. Female centered. Finally, not only is it female centered, but I believe it is LGBT centered as well.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah,
that's right. Get ready.
Yeah. Dominic Zelenak, Stool Wars, the Crapalite. Very good. Bill S. Preston Esquire. The Sith are just misunderstood. That's right. Just like her former boss. From Vault-Tec CEO 111. Star Wars is killing Jedi, and yes, it doesn't make sense. And from Sons and Shadows, gifted 5 Film Thread memberships. Thank you so much for that.
Thank you. Join us on Discord and look for exclusive videos like the Q&A with Jonathan Nolan and Christopher Nolan talking about Fallout. It's 40-minute conversation, phenomenal, only for members. There's a lot of videos, so look at the members only videos. So thank you for that, very generous. We'll be back next week to talk about it. So join us next week for that. Now, as promised, movies came out in theaters today. Actual other movies. And we will discuss them, including Daisy Ridley. We're going to start with that one. Daisy Ridley, of course, is she's in a movie that's in theaters, and we're gonna discuss it. Alan, get your posters ready to go.
Smell it? That's magic.
What was that about?
The one thing I forgot to do this morning.
What's that?
The posters.
Yay, let's stop everything so Alan can do the job he was supposed to do when he was prepping the show.
Yeah.
Yay.
Yay, thank you.
So you didn't do it at all?
I didn't do it. I forgot. Because I have... Okay. There's a lot going on. But let me just get this one.
Folks,
and if Lori, you could help me... I think, Lori, if you could...
Young Woman and the Sea is the first movie we're going to review. See, this is like... I put a lot of work into the show. It's a team effort, and each person plays a part. I play my part. I prep the show. And then other people have little pieces that is their area of responsibility.
Yeah, but you know how hard it is to get a poster? Hey, Alan and Robert, happy birthday. What shocked to hear about what happened to you and your stuff in Las Vegas. I was one of the pervs in the bar. Oh, I remember that. Who bought the Celebrity Poop book. Want to pay again for it here. Some more for Alan's new PC.
Thank you so much. Well, you're lucky you got one because they were all stolen. So, including the money from that night, which was stupidly left in the car. So, but I appreciate it.
But if someone had told me there was large sums of cash in my car,
you in a text.
You didn't tell me.
We had that discussion.
You didn't tell me. You want to have this conversation again?
No, let's not.
Boy, that escalated quickly.
Well, here we go.
Oh, you didn't tell me. And the second thing, amazingly, I'm Googling. I just need to pull it up here. Sorry, give me one moment here. Let me share screen. Sorry, I gotta move in here. There we go. Let me get us moved over.
How we doing, Alan?
We're not doing good because let me grab this story here. Okay, let me get through this commercial first. All right, sharing the screen. Let me pull it up here. There's so much work to do, so many buttons to click.
Yeah.
Okay, just a note to Atomic Lori. Could you get all the other posters for the films we're supposed to review today? And Alan, do you have the first one ready?
Almost.
To get one poster?
You have no idea what's going on. 1 second as I scroll around. Let's clear the deck here. Sorry. Is that showing up at all? Where is this? Sorry about technical difficulties here. Okay, I don't know what's going on with my signal here. Oh yeah.
Ooh. Yeah.
Still nothing?
Nothing. Wish I could tell
you.
You
use Google? I literally in 5 seconds get a poster. This is kind of BS, man. I'm being serious. Like, come on. This is like the post.
You know what it is? I'm typing in the word "Young Woman of the Sea" and I'm getting the
movie.
Book cover. All it is
movie.
The book cover. It's the cover of the book.
The title of the movie. The title of the movie. You put in movie in the year. Boom! I get it in 2 seconds. Fuck.
Let me see. Okay. Sorry. I'm clicking this next chat and it's not showing up for some reason. Come on, computer. We'll drop that out. Almost hit the wrong button. Okay, deselect. Deselect. There we go. And I need to get rid of that banner. Got it. And let us pivot.
Yeah.
Alan Ng is officially the drunk 3PO of Film Threat. And if you know drunk 3PO, you know what that statement means.
I can't get a poster.
What do you mean you can't get it?
Yeah, yeah, I could go through all the issues I'm having with my computer right now.
How about get a good computer? You do a YouTube
that's
show
easy to do.
and have a good computer.
Yeah, I'll just go buy one.
So what happened the weeks previous? How did you do this?
Yeah, I'm doing exactly how I do it weeks previous. It's just not working.
This I'm actually really trying to hold it together now, but this is not good for my blood pressure.
All right, well,
Alan,
I wish I could make.
I put all this prep into this show. We had a whole discussion of the movies we'd review. You review some, I review others.
Yeah. Well, I wish I could get a poster to pop up on my computer here. It's a good story. It's just too damn long.
Well, says the guy who is taking his daughter to the extended versions of all the Lord of the Rings movies. You've been Gore.
Yeah, have you seen the Lord of the Rings movies?
Yes, I've seen them.
Are you even comparing this movie to one of the Lord of the Rings?
Not a comparison. So you got it off River? Hey!
No, we're in River. Yeah.
And while that's happening, Lori, if you would find the other posters, thank you. Please do that. Sorry, folks. You know that statement, I stream with my heroes? This is the opposite of that. That's how I feel right now. Now I know how Mo feels when Larry and Curly do something like I'm Mo right now. So there you go. All right. Hey folks, we're here. Let's go. All right. Young Woman in the Sea is a film put out by Disney. It is a true story. Yes, a true story of a woman, a Gertrude Ederle, played by Ederle. Gertrude Ederle, played by Daisy Ridley. It's about a young woman who wants to be the first female to swim the English Channel. It happened in, I believe, in the early 1900s, like 1914. So it's set then, and Daisy Ridley is the star. Now this is in theaters, but it is in very limited release. So if you could tell more about the story, Alan, and fill in the gaps.
Yeah, so Ederle here, she is the first woman to swim across the English Channel, and this is her story. She German immigrant just after World War I. Living in New York, where women are not allowed to swim, at least not with boys. She also had measles, and so she's especially not allowed to swim because it could cause deafness. But nothing's going to hold this woman back, not even the patriarchy. And so she decides she's going to go. She's going to be the first woman to swim the English Channel, and this is that story.
Now, before we talk about the movie and its merits, whether it's decent or not, there's a reason they made this movie. Okay, Daisy Ridley as Rey was the main protagonist in the Disney Star Wars sequels. Okay, and they want to make another Star Wars movie starring Daisy. And my opinion is that I think Daisy Ridley is a good actress, and the character of Rey is terribly written. It's terribly written. We don't need to revisit that. But I think a lot of this was to test if Daisy Ridley can open a film. And let me just say this unequivocally, she cannot lead up a movie. This is a non-Star Wars movie. It's a very basic sports, go for your dream film. We've seen it a million times. I kind of like that genre. You know, you go for your dream. It's a sports movie. You either win or lose. Sometimes you lose, you win respect. Sometimes you win. Sometimes you don't. You learn lessons. But it's a true story. And you even see footage at the end of the actual event. And I'll just say unequivocally, she can't carry the film. Now, a lot of it, she has a lot of supporting actors that help her out. And like Christopher Eccleston is her coach. He's a coach that's trying to actually like almost like sabotage her. So, and there's so many, it's so like all the female characters, it's like they're progressive women from today, but in the early 1900s. There are so many cringy lines like, women can't swim. How dare women swim? And even when they swim, they have these like full body neck to toe, like swimming outfits. And they look, it's so there's so many like, you mean a woman is going to do that? And it's so like, so it's like having a bunch of modern progressive women in a historical piece doing on the nose social commentary. And it's just cringy. Alan, what did you think of Young Woman and the Sea?
Yeah. I could tell you. Let me read you some of the things that were said. There's a boat.
Wait, you took notes?
I took notes because there's no one in the theater. There's no one in the theater. So
wait, you were the only person in the theater?
No. In honesty, there's 4 other people.
Okay.
But so there's a boat crash and hundreds. So the words were hundreds died, but mostly women.
That's right. That's a line in the
movie. Indecent for a girl to swim. Let's see, boys only, women's pool over there. For girls, there's no such thing. Women who exercise only harm themselves. Let's see. What about dinner? Does she bake? Does she have a boyfriend? Then they try to arrange a marriage for her. Let's see. Girls like us, and the skirt's too short. Because of you. And then these little girls walk up to her and say, because of you, they let me swim. I mean, this is how on the nose when I first saw the trailer for this, I was watching it and it was just nothing but feminism. Women can't do this. Women are going to die. She's going to die out there, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, this movie is just going to be one solid feminist tale. And that's exactly what this movie is. This is my problem. I bring this up a lot about these movies, but for the character herself, she's perfect. She's the girl boss. There's nothing wrong with her. She has no fatal flaw other than she had measles a long time ago and could lose her hearing. She had no fatal flaw. And so she doesn't grow at all. The entire story is about her accomplishing the goal of swimming across the English Channel. That was the story. She had nothing to overcome, except for the patriarchy, of course. So she had nothing personal to overcome. She was just that great of a swimmer, and then she goes down to the ocean and swims across. The better version of this movie is Naiad on Netflix, and not only that, not only is it about a woman swimming from Cuba to Florida, but it checks another box. She's a lesbian. But the thing is that what made Naiad so good was not that this lesbian was able to swim across from Cuba to Florida, but she had a fatal flaw. She was so driven to accomplish this feat that she didn't consider her team. She didn't consider her best friends, their feelings, the demands that she put on them. And it got to the point where everyone who supported her wound up quitting on her because of her attitude. That's a fatal flaw. And that's what, and overcoming that fatal flaw is what ultimately got her to swim on the 16th attempt from Cuba to Florida. That's a compelling story because that's about a person. In this one, she's defined by her oppression. This is not a story about a woman swimming across the English Channel. This is a story about a woman. She's not defined. Let's put it that way. She's not defined by the incredible feat of swimming the English Channel. She's defined by the oppression she's experienced in her life, and that's not a movie.
Yeah, that's perfect. She's perfect, and people are telling her she can't do it. That's it. I found her character to be, just in sort of annoying, actually. And I'll say this: this is a mid movie, and the thing is, I like that kind of movie, a sports movie, and the real story of the woman Gertrude is actually fascinating. She had a ticker tape parade in New York. She was celebrated, and
which was true. It was all true.
Which is all true. I'd rather see a documentary about this event than this movie that they made. This is a mid movie that should have gone direct to streaming. But what I'm saying is the reason this got a theatrical release is because of the Daisy Ridley Star Wars Rey movie that is coming, and they wanted to test and see. Let's see if people still like Daisy Ridley. And honestly, I like her as an actress. Now she's been in 2 bad things. So there you go.
Yeah.
And now it's
also the reason this is out. I mean, there's a few interesting things going on here. The Walt Disney Company has 3 movies coming out this year. This one, in November, Moana 2, which they're rushing, and then 3 Mufasa, which comes out in December. Those are the 3 Walt Disney Company movies.
And Moana 2, by the way, I know you talked about this. Moana 2 was going to be a TV series, a Disney Plus series. Mm-hmm. They are converting to a movie. So it wasn't even intended to be a movie. And it's being done in Canada, of all places.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. And then the other thing is, what was I saying? I had a great point.
The poster threw you off.
I know. I'm searching posters right now. The other thing is, so last night, big premiere of Bad Boys 4, Back in Black, and Jerry Bruckheimer is there promoting that movie, and he's right there on the red carpet and everything. Who's the executive producer of this movie? Jerry Bruckheimer.
Right.
He's at the premiere promoting a different movie. He's not even talking about this one.
Right. Crazy. But yeah, I would not recommend this movie. I give it a 2 or a 3. But I can see how, but it is really a type of movie I would like, right? I like Daisy, nothing against Daisy Ridley. Mm-hmm. He needs better writers. She needs to learn to choose scripts. She hasn't been in really anything that really shows what she's capable of. And I feel like her career is like Mark Hamill. She played this character of Rey. She did Star Wars. Can she do anything else and be interesting? So far, no. And I'm sorry, that's my honest answer. What are your thoughts, Alan, just on Daisy as an actress?
Daisy, I'm not gonna be as hard on her as you are. Can she carry a movie? I mean, ultimately, it's the movie. If she finds the right part, she can carry a movie. Unfortunately, this is just a badly written movie. It's a movie trying to be a movie about a great woman, and it becomes a movie about the feminist agenda. And I don't know any actress who could pull this one off. You know, and again, we've seen the better movie, and that's Naiad.
Naiad is great. Naiad, very similar story. It's on Netflix.
It's almost the exact same story.
Yeah, almost. But see Naiad, fantastic.
Yeah, and also
so good.
In Naiad, the idea that she couldn't do it because she was a woman, or she couldn't do it because she was gay, not even an issue in the movie.
It's not a part of the story at all.
Nope.
She was just determined, and that was her fatal flaw. So yeah. So your final verdict?
No,
Alan?
it's not. Yeah, no, I'll give it a 4 just because of production values.
Alan gives it a 4.
Yeah, you know, it's weird, but I really need to understand the scale below 5. You know, what's a 1 versus what's a 2, and what's, you know, it's a good looking movie. It's competently made. It's just the story is, you know, it's a story that is going to cause you to groan, and we've seen it before, and it's nothing different than any other story about male oppression.
Yeah. All right, let's go to your comments here.
Yes, Bush and Ryu Cat for 10. Alan, Chris, I just joined, didn't know you were on. Is that pic of Cap on the thumbnail real? Chris Evans back? Stay cool and hydrated while you drive today. No, that's not Chris Evans.
It's Falcon Sam Wilson in a helmet. We were pointing out they're trying to hide his face. Yeah. Thanks, Bush and Ryu Cat.
Appreciate it. From Geek Truth 64, member for 13 months. Good to see Chris roasting Alan's graphics again.
Oh, I'm gonna do it. Yeah.
Yep. There we go. Benjamin for 5. Does Film Threat drug test?
No, I trust Alan.
Yeah, but if you want a cup of my pee, I'll give it to you.
Yeah, but my blood pressure meds—that's all you'd see in my blood right now.
All right, from our Aaron Charman for £5. The go-to Alan's new computer fund.
Oh,
yeah, £5.
Yeah.
Well,
yeah, we'll talk about it after, Alan.
Yeah, get a new computer. Beerosaurus Rex, a member for 21 months. The sea was angry that day, my friend.
Thank you.
Let's see. Low and slow for 20. 10 for Alan's PC. 10 for Chris's blood pressure meds.
Not a joke. It's up after I do this stream. If I get upset, it's seriously, I check it. Go ahead.
All right. The Craw for a 1999 super sticker. Thank you so much for that.
Thanks for the pronunciation, Alan. That's good.
From Carnell for 10. Remember when Daisy Ridley and Tom Holland were in a movie together? No. Yeah, no one else does either. It's a sad realization. Really? Okay. That both actors can't drive a box office outside the big IPs.
Carnell, thank you very much. That's true. That's my point. My point is Daisy Ridley can't do that, and they're making this new Star Wars. So we'll see how that goes. Another comment here.
Yeah. And then again, could Mark Hamill carry a movie?
No.
What should you cat for 5? Chris Allen, thanks for reading that. But one more. Last night I watched BA Alita 4, the fourth time. Oh, okay. Battle Angel Alita 4. Maybe that's what it is. The fourth time straight on my phone. How did they make that so good? Is that what it is?
Before times.
Okay. I don't remember.
Thank you for the super chat.
Okay. Razorburn. So not a Chariots Fire movie.
Nope.
No. From Rumble, ADLS. It's no The Rookie or Miracle. Now those are great Disney sports films.
Those are really good. I like sports movies. To be fair, I like sports movies. Go for your dream, win or lose, the drama, everything at stake. This is not a good sports movie. It's a stream. This should have been streaming only.
Yeah, but then Disney would only have 2 movies coming out in this year. From Bookmark, it's Disney, the girl boss on the way.
You mean it's Disney and the girl boss all the way?
Okay. And Davina Duckworth, did they tell her to smile? Wow, I don't remember that one.
I don't remember either. All right, thank you for that. Stick around. We got more reviews. What's up next, Alan? You just tell me, and I'll put it up.
Okay. Here
How
we
about
go.
Ezra? Ezra. Can we do Ezra?
Yeah, hold on. Let me go back to Ezra here. There we go.
Yay!
It's there.
Yay! Alan,
I know what I'm doing. I prepared.
Can I just say, you redeemed yourself. You redeemed yourself. And I appreciate you. I appreciate you. So,
yeah, but I can guarantee you that's not what you're going to say after the stream is over.
Yeah, I'm going to yell. But
Yeah.
no, I think you learned your lesson.
Yeah. Yeah. Don't overexert yourself before the show.
Wait, no, that's what. Just plan like I do.
Oh, I know.
Everything's in the planning document. How many times have I said that? All right.
I saw 3 movies yesterday. I'm all.
I saw 2. All right, here we go. Ezra.
Yeah,
Tell us
Ezra.
about Ezra, Alan.
Ezra is a small little drama starring Bobby Cannavale, who's the father of a young son with autism, and the way we find ourselves in this story is that Bobby is about to be divorced from his wife, played by Rose Byrne. He's living with his father, played by Robert De Niro. On this day, his son Ezra caused quite a stir at school. He's been doing really good. They've been trying to integrate him in normal school, in regular school. But today he was acting out because Dad had him binge watch Breaking Bad. And Ezra led the kids to doing something dangerous. Not a big deal, but it more lends itself to the reason why they need to move Ezra out of a normal school and then put him in a special school. But the father is against it. He wants his son to be as normal as possible. And that's essentially what this movie's about, is everyone around him is telling him that he's not the son you think he is, or that he's not going to become the person he thinks he is. And they want him to go on to start prescription medications. They want him to go to special school. But he decides not to the point where he essentially kidnaps Ezra and goes on a road trip across the country to make an appearance on the Jimmy Kimmel Show because he's a stand-up comic. There are good things about this movie in terms of the story itself, but there are things in this movie that will probably piss off a lot of our audience. And I think I just mentioned it by saying the words Jimmy Kimmel. So what do you think about it, Ezra?
Well, it's I like the father-son relationship. Okay.
The Ezra and his father, or the father and
Ezra and his father. Okay. And there's another, like, De Niro's in this movie. Sadly, De Niro in the news recently, kind of embarrassing himself. But I love the father-son relationship there. Him struggling with his kid's autism and being just the best father he's capable of. He's divorced and has to deal with his ex-wife. But so I really thought it was sweet. That was the heart of the film. And I know people who have kids with autism. They have, children with autism. And I've seen that more and more. So I think we might want to be curious about why so many kids have to struggle with this. But I thought the heart of the film worked. The story elements didn't really work. Like, it's a road movie. It's an indie road movie, which is like a trope. We've seen it a million times. But they abandoned their car in the middle of the woods. They abandoned their car. I didn't
really
believe
nice
that.
car too.
I didn't believe the Jimmy Kimmel stuff. That was sort of played very fake, which was weird. Whoopi Goldberg plays his agent, manager, and that was kind of weird. Like the story part, and then he brings his son to his stand-up gigs at night to these bars and whatnot, bars and comedy venues. I didn't buy any of that. I bought the relationship. The story was just weak. And when I saw it, I saw the guy who directed it, was in the movie. He was the villain in Ghost.
Oh yeah, Tony Goldwyn.
Tony Goldwyn, who I like. He directed it, and they did a little intro where the writer has been writing it for 10 years, and Tony Goldwyn came along. So I think if you have someone in your life, a child who has autism, this movie is going to affect you in the feels. It will, 100%. You can the story stuff that doesn't work, you can dismiss it. It's fine. The story stuff that did not work really did not work. Any other movie would have been no. But because I don't know that I know of other movies that have dealt with this specific issue so head on, and for that, it gets my praise. So I'm going to give it a mild recommend, like a 6. But I just think that so many are dealing with this problem more and more that I'm glad someone made a film about this. The story stuff, dismiss it. The heart of the film, that's the thing that works. Alan, what do you think about it?
Yeah, I mean, one is autism. The reason they call it a spectrum is because there are various levels of it, and I like the point of the spectrum that Ezra is in. I do have a cousin who is autistic, and he is communicative, but he's not quite there where Ezra is here. And so there's a level of, I'll say, empathy, because I really don't know. I've not spent necessarily an extensive amount of time with my cousin that way. But I agree with you. I think the heart of the film is the reason to see it. I think there are barriers to get over in watching it. First of all, Robert De Niro's not doing himself any good. Neither is Whoopi Goldberg, and neither is Jimmy Kimmel. And they play Robert De Niro and Whoopi Goldberg play big roles. Jimmy Kimmel, it's like, oh, I got to get to Kimmel. I got to do that. I'm like, why? Why are you traveling to LA? Why don't you just stay in New York and do Fallon instead? I don't know why Jimmy Kimmel has that kind of cachet. And those are the things that distract you from the story. But fortunately, this relationship between the father and son overwhelms the entire movie. That those minor things are very small, and that I've seen a lot of these. I'll call them issues-based movies where like I saw a movie with Liam Neeson where his wife had breast cancer, and the movie is just basically the stages of breast cancer and what that does to a relationship. And it just here's chapter 1, chapter 2, chapter 3. What I liked about this one is it felt like a drama, and I really like that. And the way that Bobby Cannavale's character interacts with his son Ezra, it speaks to a lot of what parents go through when they're raising autistic children, and I think that awareness just brings more empathy from people who are not able to, who are not that close to the issue, and you just understand the frustration that goes in, but also the love that goes into it. The fact that children, no matter what, are not throwaways, and in this movie, Ezra is definitely not a throwaway child, and to see the family struggle yet family support is the big message of this movie.
And what I like about the dad is he really, really supports his son. They want to put him on drugs, basically to just medicate him so he's easier to deal with.
Cool him off,
cool him off in the classroom. And his dad's like, no, I'm going to stand up for my son. I am not going to give him. Look, my son, when he was in elementary school, they wanted to give him Ritalin because he was a normal boy. So what do I do? I got him a skateboard, take him out to the park to work off all that energy. But I did not put my son on Ritalin, and they wanted to medicate his son, and he stood up for him. So on that, I recommend the movie. I have, you know what? I have adult friends who are mildly autistic on the spectrum. In some ways, if you can, it's almost like a superpower, but it's a way, it's like a human mentat. That's a Dune reference. But I did, the heart of the film works. I did thought like De Niro and Whoopi Goldberg like that, and Jimmy Kimmel I cringe. There is a post-credit scene that's kind of funny, but yeah. Anyways, I give it a mild recommend. Alan, do you recommend it?
I do. I do with all those caveats. I mean, I think the way I approach movies is it runs my world, and this movie runs my world.
Well, there you go. Let's go to the chat comments here. We'll get through a few. We got a lot more movies to review, so stick around. More movies are in theaters. Here we go.
Mike MC Wong. Hey, Ezra was surprisingly good. The bad choices Bobby Cannavale's dad character kept making in the first part of the movie bothered me, but it ultimately won me over.
Yeah. I like flawed characters.
Yeah.
It was flawed.
Well,
for sure.
I mean, the whole drug thing, it speaks to the fact that that medicine has gotten lazy. And when a person acts a certain way, just give them a pill for that. And that's exactly what's going on here. You're covering up the problem. You're not solving the problem. From Amanda Nowicki. So Ezra is not a biopic about Ezra Miller.
Nope.
Dizzy Willa sounds like a Hallmark movie that I would never entertain watching. It's less. It feels like a drama. It feels like a well-constructed drama versus a Hallmark where it's just a scene. Vault-Tec CEO 111, Little Miss Sunshine with autism. Wom Biscuit, my wife has been in the special education field, including teaching, for over 25 years. She can't watch movies with special needs kids. It gets to her too much. I get that. Yeah. Like I'll say this: the improv troupe I belong to in San Diego National Comedy Theater, we have an autism program where we teach autistic kids improv, and it's pretty amazing. I mean, not everyone can do it, but we've stolen jokes from these kids. That was a big thing where the Ezra makes up jokes. They're not great, but he makes them up, and it's like, okay, that's not bad. And Dante, Verbal Riot, hey, we need a movie about an autistic porn star.
For sure. That will definitely happen.
Yeah.
All right, hey, Dante. We got more movies to review here. Alan, Jim Henson, did you see that?
Yes, I did.
Okay, let's do that next.
All right.
Then I'll do In a Violent Nature.
How fast was that? Look how fast that was.
Oh my God, Alan, you've redeemed yourself. Alan for the win. All right, okay. Alan, tell me.
So Jim Henson Idea Man comes out today, May 30th on Disney Plus. I'm reading that right now. I will say this, especially coming off last week with the Beach Boys documentary. If there's one thing Disney Plus does right, it's documentaries. This is following up on the Beach Boys. Jim Henson Idea Man is another great documentary about a great man, Jim Henson. This one goes through his life, essentially from childhood to the present. It has interviews with Jim Henson over the years. Also has interviews with his children, who are all currently alive. His wife passed a while ago, and also with Frank Oz, Dave Goelz, and a couple other people who worked closely with Jim Henson over the years. But the subtitle there, Idea Man, is the essential theme of this documentary. Jim Henson, if anything, you could say is a creative genius, and this movie just goes into that. There's an opening interview where Jim Henson and Frank Oz appear on the Orson Welles show, and Jim talks about how he was never into puppets until he was given an opportunity to do a local television show, and they needed to hire a puppeteer. And that was the impetus of him learning puppetry, because he wanted to do television. He then met his wife, who was also a puppeteer, and they kind of built the Muppet empire from there. And then it just goes through his life. And I think the one thing that you'll notice, or the one theme about Jim that you'll see and they'll talk about, especially from his children, was that this guy was a workaholic. He was creative constantly. There was no off switch. He'd be thinking about 5 creative projects at one time. He would go off into his lab or his tech area and just start creating, to the detriment of his marriage and to the detriment of his family. It wasn't until they became much older, young teens and college age, that he could bring them into the company, and that's kind of where they got to know their father at that point. And all his children are actively involved in not only Jim Henson Company, but also in the art of puppetry. Yeah, if you want a good retrospective of the life of Jim Henson, his work, and the man, this is a great documentary, directed by Ron Howard. The one thing that Ron Howard brings to this documentary is that he brings an artistic sense to it. To the documentary itself feels creative, and it feels like you're in the mind of Jim Henson as you're telling his story, from the way he presents the elements through art and through animation. And so again, Disney Plus hits it out of the park again with Jim Henson Idea Man.
So do you give it a number rating? Obviously you recommend it.
Yeah. I gave Beach Boys a 9. I also give this a 9.
Yeah, it was in theaters in limited release.
Very
right?
limited. Very limited.
Yeah.
It wasn't in any of my theaters.
Yeah. But yeah, I'm interested because I'm seeing the Muppet movie this weekend.
Yes, so am I.
The Muppet movie is being re-released, I think, Sunday and Monday. There's screenings.
Through Fathom
So
Events.
look for it. Oh, that's great, Alan. Another good movie review.
Yeah, and from Disney Plus.
Disney Plus.
Yeah,
All
will this
right.
get you to resubscribe?
We'll see. All right, next. What's the next poster you have?
Let's see. Oh, sorry.
Wait, no, comments. Let's go to comments.
Oh, comments.
Sorry.
That's right.
Real quick. Comments for this. Go ahead.
Here we go. From Patrick Lemire, the Jim Henson exhibit at the Museum of Moving Image in the boroughs of Queen of New York City has everything, all the way to the first puppet he made, Dark Crystal, Muppets, Sesame Street. Yeah, a similar exhibit was touring. It came to Skirball Center a couple of years ago. There's an article, because I was there. There's an article at filmthread.com about that. But yeah, the museum is amazing. And if you're a fan of Jim Henson, you've got to do it, because there's experiential things that you can do, which is pretty fun. Amanda Nowicki, while I'm not a puppeteer, Jim Henson is one of my idols for character creation and storytelling, especially when it gets into Dark Crystal and Labyrinth. That's when things
love
really
Dark Crystal, the original.
Yeah, the box office failures, but cult classics. All right, Solomon Thornton, Jim Henson, the man was a part of my childhood. Yeah, absolutely. Harry Anders, Jim Henson was the straight dope. I mean, this is the reason I'm seeing the Muppet movie this weekend, because I'm taking my daughter, and she's going to finally see Jim Henson at work as Kermit.
Yeah, the magic on the big screen.
Yeah, I mean, it was. I remember the Muppet movie when it first came out. That was my birthday party.
That's great.
One of my friends and I, we saw the Muppet movie for my birthday.
Oh, that's awesome, man. All right, let's do a review for a film I've seen that you have not, because you were too scared.
Oh, is it a different one? Not this one. Okay, go for it.
No, let's talk about this one first, right here. You go to that one.
Okay, got it.
Okay, put it up, would you? Robot Dreams. I'm just going to say this. I reviewed this earlier on the channel. Look at my review. It's a beautiful, beautiful animated movie with no dialogue. There's no dialogue, and it's based on a graphic novel. So I am a huge fan of comic books that are not superhero comics. Like, you ever read Love and Rockets by the Hernandez brothers, or 8 Ball by Daniel Clowes? How about that? How about Yummy Fur by Chester Brown? You ever hear of Neat Stuff by Peter Baggy? These are all comics about they're almost like independent films in the form of comics. And Robot Dreams is absolutely beautiful. It's about a dog and a robot that become friends, and then something happens in their relationship. I saw this at a screening where people were, I mean, I'm not going to say it's not a kids movie. It's more adult, but kids will get it and understand it. It's so beautiful. And it's also set in New York City. New York City is like a character in this film. Really good. I interviewed the director. So the interviews channel, Film Threat Interviews channel, will have an interview with Pablo Berger. So look that up when we post it. But just want to recommend this movie. It is now in theaters in wide release. Don't miss it. That's my capsule review. Really heartfelt. It's like the Minions movies. They're fine. They're entertaining, but they're so in your face. And like for someone with ADD, it's like too much. This movie is quiet, like simple, like it takes its time to build relationships. So I loved it. Alan, you would love this movie.
I want to see it. Unfortunately, it's not as wide release as I'd like it to be.
Well, it'll be out. But strong recommendation for Robot Dreams. 8 out of 10. 8 out of 10. So there you go. All right. Next.
There we go.
In a Violent Nature. Now, Alan, you're not as big a fan of horror as I am. In fact, you're fond of saying, what do horror movies do to you?
They scare the living poop out of me.
That's right. They scare the living poop out of Alan. But I love horror, especially indie horror, when it is well done. This is the best horror film I've seen this year. If you've seen the trailer shows you almost nothing. What this is, how to describe it? It's like seeing a Friday the 13th movie from the point of view of Jason. So you see, and it also feels very video game inspired. So you see the back of what is a character. You don't even see his face for much of the movie, and you're following him as he walks. It's the point of view of the killer, and he's sitting there, and he's like, you don't see his face, but he's just sort of sitting there, and you can overhear a bunch of kids in the background staying in a cabin in the woods. You can overhear people, and he just wants a gold locket, the gold locket that was his. And this violent killer stalks these people, and you see from his point of view how he like waits. You see this character, like you get glimpses. His hands are all mangled. The back of his head is scarred. It looks like he has a metal plate in the back of his head. He's got gashes and scars all over. And it's so good. It's shocking. I can't reveal the deaths. There is one death in the middle of the movie where I just lost it. I'm like, I have never seen anything like that in my life. I cannot rave enough about this. It's 90 minutes, doesn't overstay its welcome. It's quiet. And I believe this movie, was it at Sundance?
Was it?
I believe it was at Sundance. It's just this quiet film from the point of view of basically a killer like Jason or Michael Myers. So well done. The deaths and the tension and the creative kills, which is something, if you're a horror fan, and by the way, I'm a huge horror fan. I'm going to Monsterpalooza that's in Pasadena this weekend. I'll be there all weekend. The kills are so creative and shocking. A combination of practical effects and digital effects, just so well executed, like so well done. And what I liked about this movie is it was quiet. It wasn't a like jump scare, right? Not any jump scares. Well, simple ones, but like it more focused on tension scares. So you see him lurking and you barely see the people. They're like in the background or out of focus. You don't get to know these characters. They're just annoying and they're in the woods and they need to be dispensed with. I think horror fans, if you're a horror fan, you're going to love it. If you're not a horror fan, warning, you will be shocked. The one death I pointed out, this girl in the lake, they're going, or she's by the lake doing yoga. I lost it. And I was in a theater. I saw the first show, 4:00 in the afternoon. And there were a bunch of people there, everyone freaking out over this death. And there are other deaths. It's just shocking and great. And it's a different point of view. Let's take a trope. We've seen Michael Myers. We've seen Friday the 13th. Let's do it from the point of view of the killer. Great. Chef's kiss. Strong recommendation. 9 out of 10. Please make a sequel. Let's go to your comments here. Here we go.
All right. From Smoking Snakes and Funerals, $5. Thank you. I would love to see an animated Love and Rockets or 8-Ball movie, or even live action if they do it like Sin City style.
Well, I mean, they did do. Daniel Clowes did Art School Confidential, and that's live action. And by the way, there's a character in that movie that wears a Film Threat t-shirt because Dan Clowes is a fan of Film Threat. So go watch Art School Confidential. That's a live action Dan Clowes. Look for the Film Threat shirt.
From Jean Hu, I like suspense and spooky stories, but I dislike blood and gut slasher stuff.
Do what I do. If it gets too bad, just look away. Just look away.
I mean, this is like Terrifier type of...
Not as bad as Terrifier,
okay,
but really creative kills.
Professor Fear, some potentially good horror this year. Maxine, Terrifier 3, and Nosferatu. I am looking forward to Nosferatu of the 3.
I've seen it. I saw Rough Cut.
Okay.
I'll tell you later.
Okay. Fear the Turtle 21, a trailer in the violent nature looks awesome. And the premise is very cool. Definitely planning to see it in theaters.
Hey, when you see it, comment next week after you see it.
By the way, did you see the trailer to the Lena Dunham movie, Treasure?
It looks terrible.
Oh my God.
We have that movie.
Let's
review it next week. Review it next week.
I don't want to see this movie.
Oh, we're going to review it.
Oh.
I saw the trailer. It looks awful.
The trailer is, except for Stephen Fry. Stephen Fry is the only reason I would see this movie. And to believe that he is her father. Darth Yeager, 90 minutes equals perfect length for a slasher film, in my humble opinion.
Agreed.
Do we really have a screener for Treasure?
Yeah. We'll just,
Oh,
we'll talk after. It's 90 minutes, and I think it's 93 minutes, whatever, in the range. Perfect. I walked out of the theater. I was so pumped. And then I saw another movie and I walked out. So we'll talk about that later.
All right. From Swinging Cod for $5. My 2 nitpicking on the violent nature, the dialogue with the teens won't age well. And the one middle film Woods walking sequence dragged too long.
No, I like the walking because it felt like a video game. Like you are on his journey. So I like that. And I agree with you. The dialogue is like cringe because one of the girls is super woke and they say all this stuff, but they get killed. Like they're annoying woke teenagers and the guy kills them all. It's great. They're just annoying. And yeah, you're right. It won't age well, but I thought that was awesome. I'm like, oh God, I can't wait for them to die. And they die. It's awesome. So yeah, Swinging Cod. Thank you for the 5. And I really enjoyed it. And the crowd I saw it with really liked it. So there you go.
I have to say the title, In a Violent Nature, when you mentioned Sundance, it's like that is a perfect Sundance title for a movie.
Yeah.
And so much so that I almost saw it just because of the title alone. And then fortunately I read what the movie was about and then didn't see it.
Yeah, well, there you go. So, okay, we're going to end with one last review. Alan, do you have this poster? MoviePass?
Is it that one?
Look at that.
Yes.
Yay. And I'll review Baby Reindeer next week because I really want to go into it. We'll do that next Friday.
Do I need to see it or no?
You should not.
Okay.
You'll learn why when
I'll
you
pass,
hear my
though.
review.
Okay.
But MoviePass MovieCrash is a documentary, and it opened. It didn't open. It's on HBO Max or Max today. And if you were a fan of MoviePass back in the day, this might be like provide some solace for how terrible it was. A great idea, terribly done. Alan, tell me about MoviePass MovieCrash.
Okay, so I don't know the exact name of the players involved, but here we go. MoviePass was an idea that was created by two black gentlemen. I wish I remember their names, but I don't. And it's kind of their story about how their idea was taken over by some greedy white guys, some CEOs, and how the company was run into the ground because of some horrible business decision making. And not only that, this is what we're seeing in business these days, where CEOs think that owning a corporation means that they have millions of dollars to spend on themselves, and they don't. And that they have a great idea that brings people in, but that idea can't sustain itself economically. And this movie just goes into that. And the warnings that were made to these guys when you realize that they didn't really care about making this a successful company. They just were more into the perks that came with having a billion-dollar company.
Well, the original founders were these two, and I can't find their names.
Yeah,
I'm actually searching. These two black gentlemen who are entrepreneurs. They spent 10 years building MoviePass and the concept, and then these two guys came in and they point out that they're white guys, and these guys were shysters. They'd done terrible businesses before. And did you find the names?
Yeah, it's the founder is Stacy Spikes, who actually owns the company, bought the company back.
Bought it back, yeah. And these guys came in and they were spending stupid money on like jets and a Coachella party. And they did a party at Sundance. Guess what? I was at that party. I was at the party at Sundance. And MoviePass, if you think about it, MoviePass inspired AMC's A-List. Same concept. You pay one monthly fee. You can see, well, in AMC's list deal, you get 3 movies a week, right?
Right.
And you get discounts, and that's good. So the concept of MoviePass, solid, because now every movie theater chain uses that concept, right? Most, anyways.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, I just remember I never signed up for MoviePass, but I had friends going, "Oh my God, MoviePass, it's so good." And then they kept doing the restrictions. I remember on social media when it was bombing. And I was interviewed. Oh, sorry.
Oh, I was gonna say I was in on MoviePass from pretty early. I'll say this, definitely when it started the $10 promotion, where it was for $10 you see one movie anytime, anywhere, once a day, and I used it, and that's how I saw most of my movies. In fact, there are times some Regal used to say, "Hey, if you watch these 4 movies, we'll give you the digital download for those 4 movies." And so I would just buy a MoviePass ticket for the 4 movies, and then get the downloads without having to see the movie. That's how much I abused the process. But but the thing is that the problem, the $10 promotional deal never changed, and this was what was one of the catalysts for its downfall, is because at $10 a month, and you're buying movie tickets for people, that's essentially how the model works. It's unsustainable, especially when you get, in this case, millions of subscribers, because they were saying that they were losing
5
40
million. 5 million subscribers.
Right. And the problem was that they were losing on average $40 a month per subscriber. And when you have 5 million subscribers, that's a lot of money you're losing.
Yeah, and then they started doing some like shady things where it wouldn't work for certain movies like Mission Impossible. It didn't. The new Mission Impossible movie, it didn't work. It was like blocked.
Yeah, it didn't work for the first 3 weeks of the big blockbusters. So you had to buy the regular ticket for that.
Yeah, no, it was so shady, like things that were happening, and they were spending stupid money on lavish parties and jets. They got involved in the Gotti movie with John Travolta, and it just seemed like a train wreck. What I like about the movie is they interview the founders, they interviewed all the players, they even interviewed like super fans of MoviePass, like who had their cards still. It was a credit card, a debit card, basically.
It's a debit card, yeah.
To get your tickets. It was a great concept, terribly done, but MoviePass is back under the original founders. So it kind of felt like a salesy thing at the end I didn't like. So it gets a mixed review from me because it felt like you're just promoting the new MoviePass, the last like 5 minutes of the movie. So I felt a little cheated, like, because at the beginning it's great. It's like the Fire Festival, like a disaster in the making and people pissed off. So, and then, the end is like, it's back.
Yeah, to me, this is
there's footage of John Campea announcing MoviePass is back, which was funny to see him in the film. So,
yeah, this movie is, it's indicative of these. There's this thing going on in business where companies are able to get millions upon millions of dollars in capital venture. They're able to borrow millions and millions of dollars, and rather than use that money to build a business and a solid business, they use it to throw parties. They use it to give their executives high salaries. There's a part where the executives were having a party at Coachella, and all the workers working in New York, in the IT department, we're seeing all these pictures on Instagram, wondering why they're not there.
Well,
and the other thing was that the founder, Stacy Spikes, he saw the economic problem with the way the company was being run. You can't charge $10 a month and allow people to see unlimited number of films. You've got to raise the price. He kept saying, you've got to raise that price.
It should have been like $40 or
it should have been $40,
25 or something.
Right. Yeah. And they fired him for that. They pushed him out of his own company and walked away. He had to walk away.
Well, at 2018 at the Sundance Film Festival, I was there.
Sorry. Let me get, there you go.
I was there at the here, let's just do this. We'll go here.
Is it that one?
Yeah, there we go. I was at the MoviePass party in 2018. That's my friend Johnny Turbo, and Yuka Kobayashi. We were at the MoviePass party. Look, I was there. It was at a mansion that was like a $5 million mansion in the hills in Park City, Utah. And it was crazy. They spent stupid money on this party. It was nuts. And
mind you, they were losing $40 per subscriber.
But there I was, and they had tons of free stuff at the party. It was fun. I had a good time at that party.
And your hair hadn't changed since then.
My hair's pretty much the same. Look at that.
Yeah.
Crazy hair. And so we were at Sundance at the MoviePass party. I thought I'd get free MoviePass, but apparently no. So there you go.
They couldn't afford it.
Yeah. So anyways, so Alan, do you recommend MoviePass, MovieCrash?
Yeah, I do. I mean, part of me is this is a warning call to businesses out there about how you spend. And the frustrating thing about this is the lavish lifestyle these executives live. And when the company crashes, it's the grunts, it's the low level workers that suffer. And we're seeing it at Disney. They just laid off a bunch of Pixar people because of bad executive decisions.
Yep. Well, you see, there's like the good executives who created the company and the vision. They worked on it for 10 years. Then these guys come in the last couple of years, it burn it all down. So I mean, you know, it felt at the end like a plug for the new MoviePass, but in the end, still, it's a recommend for me. So let's go to your comments about the film. Starting with Bush and Ryu Cat.
Bush and Ryu Cat for 2. Thank you. Alan, even you agree Alien was a good horror film. Yeah, it was good.
See?
Yeah. I mean, look. Sigourney Weaver in panties. Come on. Sun and Shadows. Horrible business decisions. That's an understatement. Yeah. And again, you know, it's these executives who live this lavish lifestyle, who earn these multi-million-dollar salaries, and it's the lower guys who all get laid off because of their decisions.
All I remember was my friends who had MoviePass bragging and then going, "I hate this thing. It doesn't work." Like, yeah, they kept changing their terms of service. And I remember all I saw on my Twitter feed was all the like MoviePass sucks. The like all the customer service issues all were on social media about how bad it was. I never signed up. So there you go.
Yeah. Well, I mean, AMC, they 3 movies a week. That's what you get. They put limitations, but you know, the perks are pretty good.
A-list, I love A-list. I'm a fan. I have no stake in it. I pay for it, but it delivers on the promise, and I use it.
Yeah, and they make money because I mean, I'd probably buy more concessions when I go to AMC than I would normally do.
Yeah.
Fear the Turtle 21. Totally forgot MoviePass was a thing. Yeah. Carlos Alfredo Lopez, Ing the Download Abuser. Well, it was a promotion they were offering. I got it legally. Let's just put it that way. Davina Duckworth Allen was the Typhoid Mary of MoviePass. Oh, there are people who use one guy, he would watch a third of the movie one day, then go the next day watch the middle of the movie, and then the next day watch the end of the movie.
Wow. Well, there you go. I was never a user, so don't blame me. So there you go. Thank you, Alan. It was a rough start. Start today.
For posters, yeah.
But we got through it. You didn't give up. You didn't give up.
Even though my computer wanted to.
You know what? You didn't give up. And you know what? For that,
you make me happy.
So there you go. A happy ending.
I'm so pretty.
We'll be back next week. The Acolyte Tuesday special Hollywood on the Rocks. Look for that. And this weekend, I will be at Monsterpalooza. So that's going to be a lot of fun. And a reminder, go to filmthreat.com. New movie reviews every day. Alan, what do we have on there?
Oh, today? I'm so busy. We do have new movies up there. I know. Yeah,
Look at all these reviews.
Yeah, Aisha, the girl in the trunk.
Okay, this is a horror film I want to see. The Girl in the Trunk. This looks weird. I like all. What are some of these? Movies?
Welcome Space. Oh, I saw this one.
Is it? What is it?
It's a documentary, and it's about a woman in El Cajon who speaks to aliens and essentially built a church around it. And this documentary, by the way, this documentary is produced by Chris Lord and Miller. This is just a weird documentary, and the people are so earnest and believes everything they're saying in this documentary.
Look at all these movies. You will not find these anywhere else. King Kong.
That's right. I reviewed.
Alan, by the way,
1933 King Kong.
Late on this review.
Yeah.
It came out in 1933. You're just now reviewing it.
Yeah, 90 years later, I figured now's the time for me to really express my feelings about this movie. I've used that time to kind of get the words right.
No, but it's good. There's classic reviews. Look at this. This is great. This is great. And don't forget, do not forget. Why did I say do not? I do not know why I did that. go to shop.filmthreat.com. There's all sorts of, I just did an order because we've all kinds of stuff. Look at this stuff. Atomic Glory redesigned this and it looks amazing. Look at this. There's a Dune inspired. You can get the Attack of the Dock Blu-ray. Look at this. Your favorite movie logos. It's sort of film threadized. And we're going to add more shirts this summer. Later this summer. We have more of them coming. So there you go. Go to shop.filmthreat.com and there you go. Well,
And
it was a rough start.
we have one super chat. One more super chat.
Okay, let's read it here.
Yeah, I got it. From LL for 5. Can a low/no budget indie flick break through in this era? Is it possible for an unknown to become a rock star filmmaker today? If so, how? I think a Paranormal Activity, an indie film like that takes off. Is that possible today?
If you make it for the right budget, I recommend make a movie for under 100,000, maybe under 25,000. And then use a service like filmhub.com or indierights.com. Look up those sites about what they put their distribution deal on the site. So if you scale it to low budget, make a movie for under 25 grand as an experiment. And then, yes, it can happen. So there you go. I want to thank Atomic Glory, Glenn Nuccio, our producer. I want to thank Alan. And Lord Thoth today. I want to thank for modding for us. But I want to thank Alan for never giving up. That's the message for today. Jim Henson never gave up on his dream. And Alan never gave up on his dream to be on YouTube. Right, Alan?
That's right.
What are you looking at? Yeah, you got to keep up.
Yeah, got to keep up. Keep it up. Rock it hard. Make it work. And make it so.
Oh my God. All right, everybody. See you next week, Tuesday, for the Acolyte. Alan?
Let's get out of here.